Hello, my name is John, and today we'll be reading Dinesh D'Souza's View of America, a reading of Dinesh D'Souza by the School of the White Crane founder, Jon Brooker. Other countries have been founded by accident of force. America is a creation of thought. Anti-Americanism from abroad would not be such a problem if Americans were united in standing up for their own country. America is simultaneously the most attractive and most repulsive place on the planet. It is most loved and most hated. Never assume, no matter how strong the temptation, that other people are low-life, lying manipulators without a shred of human decency. Blacks' problems lie not in the heads of white people, but rather in the wasted and unfulfilled lives of too many black people. I came to America at the age of 17 as an exchange student at Dartmouth. I would say that the rather weak foundation of my Christianity was effectively battered at Dartmouth. I've had mostly a secular career, but I became intellectually interested in Christianity again in my mid-30s. I'm a Catholic by background. I was raised in Goa, a part of India that was visited by Portuguese missionaries a few hundred years ago, which explains my last name. I love America, but I chose America. I'm completely Americanized. I have an American accent, an American wife, but a residue of me is foreign. My wife Dixie is evangelical Christian. We met in the Reagan White House when she was a student intern. We're members of the Horizon Christian Fellowship Church. Christianity has always embraced both reason and faith. Christianity teaches that this life is not only the only life, and that there is a final judgment in which all earthly accounts are settled. Christianity is the very root and foundation of Western civilization. There are some who invoke separation of church and state to try to get the government out of the business of morality. But this is antithetical to what the founders wanted. The founders wanted to keep theology out of government so that government could focus on the proper business of morality. Okay, if the desire to knock America off its pedestal, to redistribute American income to other countries, to shrink America's footprint in the world makes you anti-American, then Obama is in fact anti-American. If you want to understand what is going on in the White House with Obama, you have to begin with Barack Obama. Obama has little or nothing to do with the civil rights movement. His roots are in Kenya, and he is shaped far more by anti-colonialism than by anything that Martin Luther King said or did. Obama gets his identity and his ideology from his father. I believe the most compelling explanation of Obama's actions is that he is, just like his father, an anti-colonialist. Young men are obsessed with their dads, and they remain obsessed if the dad is not around. Remember that there was a lot of discussion about how George W. Bush might have invaded Iraq to atone for the failures of his dad. If Obama came by his liberalism in the faculty lounge, then sure, he can see it has it worked, and he can modify it. But if Obama got his formative ideas when he was very young, and if they are the result of his traumatic relationship with his father, then they are built into his psyche. Christianity is the fastest growing religion in the world. Islam is the second. It's spreading in Asia, Africa, and South America. So the world is in a kind of religious revival, and the atheists are totally flummoxed. They thought they were winning, and now they see that they aren't. Barack Obama is the most anti-business president in a generation, perhaps in American history. Obama remains frozen in his father's time machine. His anti-colonialism is the anti-colonialism of Africa in the 1950s. State confiscation of land, confiscatory taxation, and so on. My anti-colonialism is the anti-colonialism of India in the 21st century. Ramesh Ponnuru and others say Obama is a conventional liberal, but conventional liberals don't come out for the release of the Lockerbie bomber. Conventional liberals don't return the bust of Winston Churchill from the Oval Office. Conventional liberals don't block oil drilling in America while subsidizing oil drilling in Brazil. I think with Obama and the progressive, you've seen a massive expansion of big government, and it's all based on a moral premise. The moral premise is that wealth is theft. And I don't just mean the wealth of America, I mean your wealth, my wealth. The scary thing is a dramatic erosion of American position in the world, its economic military position as well as America's influence. Obama is not the man at the wheel desperately trying to conserve American power, influence, and wealth. For ideological reasons, he wants the slipping to continue. He's actually the architect of it. This point seems counterintuitive given the amount of conspicuous vulgarity, vice, and immorality in America. Indeed, some Islamic fundamentalists argue that their regimes are morally superior to the United States because they seek to foster virtue among the citizens. I want to create the largest archive of great God debates in existence, a website that becomes a great resource for both Christians and atheists. I would argue that the issue of God and the issue of science have the same roots. What I've realized is that a film operates both on the intellectual and emotional levels, and if you can find a way to tell a riveting story and draw ideas out of that, it's very powerful. I want to give Michael Moore a run for his money. What does the doctrine of American exceptionalism empower the United States to do? Nothing more than to act better than traditional empires, committed to looting and conquest, have done. So that's American exceptionalism. An exceptionalism based on noble ideas, ideas that it holds itself to even when it falls short of them. America is the greatest, freest, and most decent society in existence. It is an oasis of goodness in a desert of cynicism and barbarism. This country, once an experiment unique in the world, is now the last best hope for the world. Liberalism presents itself as an ideology of brotherly love, but in reality, when you look at it a little more closely, you begin to see that it's an ideology based on envy, resentment, hatred, and self-hatred. The key to America is that America discovered a way that wealth can be attained without taking it from somebody else. America came up with the idea that through entrepreneurship, through trade, through invention, you can come up with stuff that's new. What's been happening to the country over the last 30 years is a systematic campaign by the left to discredit America, to tell a story about America that is America the oppressor. I call it America the inexcusable. This has been drummed in the minds of a whole generation of people. Today there are probably more Marxists on the faculty of our elite colleges than there are in all of Russia and Eastern Europe. Obama is not merely the presiding instrument of American decline. He is the architect of American decline. He wants America to be downsized. He wants Americans to consume less, and he would like to see our standard of living decline relative to that of other nations. He seeks a diminished footprint for America in the world. He detests America's traditional allies, like Britain and Israel, and seeks to weaken them. He is not very worried about radical Muslims acquiring a nuclear bomb or coming to power in countries like Tunisia and Egypt. He is quite willing to saddle future dollars toward this end, and if he had been permitted, he would have spent trillions more. He has shown no inclination and has no desire to protect America's position as number one in the world. He would be content to see America as number 18 or number 67, just another country seated at the great dining table of nations. The strength of my thesis is that it is completely congruent with who Obama is and what he does. He emphasized in his inauguration speech his goal of remaking America, and he is doing it, recognizing that in order to remake America, he must first unmake America. The only question is whether Americans approve of their country being diminished and downsized, and whether they want to give Obama another 4 years to finish the job. This video is a production of the School of the White Crane. My name is Jon Brooker, and you communicate with me through commentary on this video or through my Gmail listed here. Please share this video with family and friends and on social media. May God richly bless you.